good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you find yourself. We are here again today, and today we are going to take reading once more from one of our books. Today we shall focus on the spiritual development of man, and therefore we shall focus on one of our books which is entitled The Embattled Earth. And we will read chapter 1 of this book. This is important that we must combine both physical and spiritual knowledge in order to coexist peacefully on this earth. So today we shall concentrate on just one chapter of our books and then see what we can gain or get from this book. I hope you are going to learn something new about how humanity, mankind of today is. And therefore, we will spend a short time just to play a small music. We'll play classical music at the start, and then we will prepare ourselves for the reading. And as usual, how we do is that we start with music, and then we are going to start with a very light music, heartwarming, just to make sure that we prepare our spirit, our soul for the time. And the previous weeks, we have read some of the professional books, some of the items that will help us to plan and how we can start our small businesses and make it work, and various things that we can do in a professional life. But today, our focus is now on the spiritual aspect. And therefore, we will take our time to do a reading. And I hope you are all with me. You can also send us your comment, the things that you have learned so far from us, and from all the previous reading that we have done. Or if you have any comment to pass, maybe some things is still not clear to you, and then you want to know how those things should be done, let us know so that we will be able to help, so that we will be able to guide you on and what. Because basically, it is a two-way affair. And then we should be able to understand what your feedbacks are, whether you are learning something new or you would like to know something that you didn't get from our readings. Then we will be able to help in this way. So, today, we shall be reading from this book. It has been shown to you several times, The Embattled Earth. And then we shall be reading from this book. And we'll go to chapter 1 of this book. Are we okay? Okay. So, we will start. Let's start our reading today. This is the introduction. Many people believe that they have been made to rule or dominate others. People must necessarily live and work under them, and they must rule in all matters. Nobody has a better and a brighter idea than them. When their conscience even proves them wrong, they still insist with their puffed-up ego that they are right and must be allowed to have their way. These kinds of people are found in every home, workplaces, public institutions, sports, and any other professions. When they finally realize that they are wrong, then they go back on the attack and do every possible means to punish those who wanted to show them the way. They must find all allegations to negate the better alternative that has been offered to them. And they make every frantic effort to remove the person who points the right path to them. To the haughty and internally bruised, the one showing the right way is a troublemaker. That troublemaker must be removed to make way for him that must rule, lead, and dominate. Often, it becomes a terrible fight, and until finally they get consumed in their shame, pride, and folly. The dominance of the intellect doesn't permit the man of today to be submissive. He cannot learn in silence. He must rule and dominate his environment and must control things and people around him. After all, the Bible told him that he must have dominion over his environment. So, as he wrongly constructs the word of God, so it has been experienced over thousands of years. This fosters envy, and he tries to bring down those who have quietly and naturally developed their abilities over the years. He feels he has been let down by those natural abilities of others. He sees them as a source of threat to his weaknesses. He feels threatened by the good manners and talents of the people he doesn't believe could do something better than him. Thus, he must necessarily do something to correct this inefficiency, but not going back to learn it the hard way. For he thought it must be too late for him. Others will have bypassed him. So he must rather prevent them from rising above him. That is the shortest and surest way, he thinks. With morbid animosity, hatred, and envy, he must crush all those who try to stand in his way. Standing on his way here means that his inefficiency has been exposed to the light, and he cannot stand the shame of going back to start it all over. He must therefore cover it up through the dominance and ill treatment of others so that he can still be held in high esteem. So, the man of today is not normal. Overzealousness. Overzealousness has misled him into an outraged posturing. He spread around troubles and ruins wherever he finds himself, thereby becoming a distasteful being in the sight of his fellow men and God. If only he could learn in humility, if only he could look into himself, If only he could listen to his inner voice, which is strengthened by his intuitive perception. If only he could address his own inefficiencies, he will have been that the road to success is not as difficult as he thinks. That God grants salvation to the humble and the meek and uplifts them at the appropriate hour. However, the appropriate hour is what many cannot wait for. Man of today must learn in humility under the laws of his creation. Without this, nothing can be offered to him in his current state. God shall not lower his standard to the level of man in order to save them. For for this reason, many are already counted as lost unless they do something urgently. That something which is urgently needed lies in humility. Humility is the knowledge of the primordial laws of this creation. Submit yourself to the primordial laws of this creation. The whole creation demonstrates these laws in perfect simplicity, and that it shall take you only a simple thought and a simple mind of knowing them. Greatness lies in simplicity. You will know how God has ordered things within this creation, how the perfect love and justice of God are woven into creation. You will benefit from numerous help that creation offers you. And like scales falling from your eyes, you will witness one miracle after another. You will then not carry within you envy against your neighbor. That is the introduction of this book. What then shall we tell you about it? The man of today, very grievous, internally bruised, jealous, envious, and want to tear down everybody who is better off than himself or herself. And they do every activity to bring down the person who seems to be better than them. But this simple book is telling us how you can deal with the situation. Instead of tearing down those who are better off than you, or those who seem to be doing better than yourself, the simple way is to humble yourself. It is only in humility that you can become great. And when you humble yourself, a lot of things are open before you. Great doors are open before you. And you are able to achieve a lot of great things. And therefore, today, we just read an introduction of this book. And then I will entreat you to look for this book because it contains a lot. It contains what? A lot. On how you can live in this creation among your fellows, so that the peace of the Lord shall return unto this earth, and that you will be able to make the greatest impact that you find. The book is only 140 pages, full of spiritual, psychical knowledge that will guide you in your present day chaos that have been created around due to our own inefficiencies, due to our own wickedness. And therefore, you shall be guided further in this. Thank you very much for listening to us. And as we usually do, we will introduce you the other books which we have been showing you already. And you can get any of our books and learn the arts, the skills, the profession, the spiritual aspect, and then the physical aspect. Or if you want to get any of our books, depending on where you are, you can get the books online on Amazon.com. Just look for Siegfried Silverman, and then all our books will pop up, and you can order directly online. In case you want to buy locally, depending on where you are, in case you are in Myanmar, you can check any of the bookshops in Myanmar. You can get the books to buy. In Malawi, you can try Claim Mabuku. We have our books there. If you are in India, you should check Amazon India and also Flipkart. In Ghana, you can try EPP Books and also Legon Bookshops. And we also have an agent in Ghana, and then we can, if you contact us, we can give you the contact of the person, then you can also get them directly. And these are the books that we have that is changing the lives of many people. And we believe it will change your life as well. And today, we have just focused on a page which talks about what? Our present day human beings and how they can come out by humbling themselves. If only they will, then greater doors will open to them, and then they shall remain great. Thank you very much for listening to us. Blessed to have you today. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you. And we have others joining us. We have New Love Christian. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening to us. And others who have joined, yeah, thank you for watching. And we will read your comments and then reply to them later. See you next time. Bye-bye.